Hi all, welcome to Trinity Technologies. ఎవరైతే చూస్తున్నారో సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి. డోంట్ ఫర్గెట్ టు సబ్స్క్రైబ్. And these videos are to learn. Okay, so not to expose someone or anything. Okay, so this is to learn like what we can say or how we can speak, what not to speak. Anidan question. Okay, so it is not opposite of that. Okay, so try to learn from these videos. Try to get what exactly people are asking, what you need to answer, how you know need to, how you should not be answering, or how you need to prepare for the interviews. Okay, so that is the main agenda and purpose of these videos. So this interview is done for 3 years experienced person who is trying for DevOps, and candidate is selected. Why he is selected? Because of the efforts he put. Okay, so he chala efforts పెట్టినాడు తను. He is not proxy. It's a straightforward interview, and most important thing is he's only 3 years. Okay, so that is one thing. If he's 6 years, 8 years, e level of years of experience unte, then I might have rejected him. But yeah, because he's only 3 years, I thought like we'll give him a chance. So what happens in the next round, we'll see. But yeah, this is how interview went on. Okay, so please watch completely and learn things. Okay, so నేర్చుకోవడానికి try చేయండి out of these interviews.
Hands-on experience in like configuration management tool like Ansible. So in last 1.5 years, I'm working in AWS. I'm few services working on that. So in that configuration day-to-day activity. So in that when I'm logging, every day I'm logging, I first check my build messages and tickets. If everything is passed, then I have to carry to the next one. And if the build failed, so I have to look into it and fix it and proceed to the next. Sorry. So
Yeah, no problem. You can have some.
So I'm also responsible for the testing, building, and development of codes and providing help to the different teams like dev and QA teams regarding their DevOps Tools issues. So I am also writing playbooks and develop in that during to the patching activity. So coming to my different projects. So one of my projects, I am working in the branching strategy where I have to create the. Sorry.
Hey, you can have some water, no problem.
Yeah. So, thank you. So in one of the projects, so I have to work on that branches as a Git, especially in the Git section, source management section. So I have to keep the repositories. I'm also managing the branching strategy. So where I have to, if the conflicts are coming, then I have to take care of that, and I have to collaborate with the developers. And regarding that particular conflict issues, code issues, so I have to collaborate with the senior managers and developer team. So in that we can solve that particular issues. So in my one of the projects, we have a product called Harmony, which is deployed on the AWS servers. It stores like a multiple campaign which sends SMS notification, push notification, and email notification. So particularly this application sends their customers regarding their bank credit and debit card status of that day. So it sends email notification, push notifications, SMS to that particular user regarding their debit and credit card issues. Sorry. So in that, so I have to schedule that particular to run 7 to 8 times a day. So if any issues are coming regarding as if CPU utilization and memory utilization, so I have to take care of that, and we have to escalate with the internal teams. It's regarding to the code or application code issues. So I have to escalate to that particular developer team or particular team regarding that application. So in my various day-to-day activities, and I'm working on the Jenkins. So here I have to around the different jobs to automate the jobs. So in that, I some jobs I found some errors. So in that, I have to analyze that, and I have to accelerate with that particular teams regarding which type of issues are coming. So in that, I'm also working on that, and regarding any troubleshooting regarding tools. So I am also working on that.
Okay. So where your Jenkins is hosted?
Sorry?
Where is your Jenkins hosted?
So it is like developed in that one server.
Sorry?
So in that deployed in the server actually. So basically we are using Docker container. For that we are hosting in the container.
Okay. So how the Jenkins setup is done? Like how this master slave setup and
yes.
all that setup, like how it is done in Jenkins?
Yes. So master slave, it's a great configuration of that Ansible, which makes it a good tools. So in that for master slave configuration, so I am something cold. That's it.
Yeah, no problem. Have some water and take it slow, like.
So yes. So in Jenkins master slave, so we can set the nodes like in Windows node in some our in our organization some set as the Linux in the slave node or Windows. So for that particular so slave node, we have to configure the URL of that particular slave node. So then first we have to authenticate it using SSH key then. So first we have to create SSH in that particular master node and that paste to the host known host in that particular slave node. So in that way we can connect to the Linux node. Whereas in Windows, so we have to install like WMI software. For that, installing that WAR file, we run for the CLI command. In that CMD command, we are like run that particular Java using Java. We run this master slave node. So basically, using SSH connectivity, we are connecting with the master and slave nodes. So in that, we are defining like controller. So how many parallel jobs you want to run. So for that, we are setting executors for that. And also we have to some different settings. Means you want to run that particular slave for a particular job, or you want to active that particular slave in for all the time. So for this, we have different settings for that.
Okay. So where is this hosted? Like, is it on premise or is it on cloud?
So previously it's on premises, but now we are migrating some cloud services. So some parts are working on the AWS part also.
Okay. So what will be the for example, I'll just give you a task. Okay. So like scenario.
Okay.
You're working on Jenkins jobs and you're unable to log into the Jenkins box and you are unable to run any jobs on the Jenkins UI. Okay. So what might be the issue and what all the troubleshooting work you will be doing? Okay.
So first of that, if you are unable to log in, so you have to obviously you have to check the password authentication. Then you have to check that server status using like system command or service command. Using status of that Jenkins server. First, you have to check if the Jenkins server is working or not. Rather than use also check the port. Use the firewall setting if that particular port is working or not, which is assigned to the Jenkins. So basically, we have default is 808 for that Jenkins. So in organization, we have setting is like different. So first, you have to check that particular Jenkins server is working or not using system command. After that, you have to check that particular firewall. In AWS, we have to check that security group, that particular port is assigned or not. So in that we can we have to troubleshoot that way.
What if your server is down, you're unable to log into the server? What will do?
Okay. So if you are checking like is server Jenkins is working, then you have to check that port. Its port is allowed or not. If port is allowed, then we have to check the checking the it's like if EC2 utilization is high. So in that you have to restart that system.
Okay, what is the process of restarting the machine?
Yeah. So for that, particular that application we can use like systemctl restart also. We can like systemctl restart Jenkins server. So Jenkins.service that will restart that service. No, you are unable to log into this server. So you said you'll be restarting this server, right? Like how you will be doing that process? So see, you have to unable to log in that GI version. So in that system background, you have to check the status of that system, like using system CTL.
No, I'm saying like you're unable to log into the server itself.
Okay.
Your master node is down.
Okay.
So how that setup is done? Like you will be in the production and you see some of the jobs are in process.
Okay.
Or they are scheduled to run.
Okay.
So your master node is down. So how you will be managing that?
Okay. For that, you need to check the configuration of that system. Like we have to check the logs. So which point it's like we have to check the logs, like in the var log section. So checking the logs, if you found like if CPU utilization, memory utilization is reached the threshold. So
where
for that,
you will check that?
Sorry?
Which log you will check that?
That's var logs in that Jenkins log. So
but your Jenkins box is down, right?
Sorry?
Your server is down. So where you will check those logs?
So that is that all the logs in the Linux, all logs are stayed in the saved in the var log directory. So in that they had a like directory of the Jenkins section, Jenkins log. So in that we have to check their logs.
Okay. So what is the exact project you are working on, like end-to-end flow? Can you give me? Like what is the code you are deploying and how it is being built, how it is sent to repository, how it is being deployed on the production, and what all the environments you have, how you follow that process.
Okay. So in that, like we have said recently, we are working on a product like Harmony. So basically, the all developers have sent their codes to the GitHub. So in that, we have to integrate. We have to for the automation. We are using Jenkins. So in that, the developers are pushing their codes to the GitHub. So in the GitHub, we are like set up we are configured the GitHub with the Jenkins. After that, we are a Java-based project. So we are using Maven to further build. So we are writing like different stages. Like first, we have to check out the code. So we are writing a stage like stage get checkout. After that, we are building that particular code. So for that, we are using like Maven. So we are giving a stage like build section. So in that building, and for the static code analysis, we are using SonarQube. So for particular that, we are writing at different stage of code analysis. In that, they have different like different the code quality for the code, vulnerability, bugs, and duplicacy. For that, we are also checking code coverages. So for that, we are also checking, and we are pushing a particular artifact to the Nexus. And also in organization, we are pushing our GitHub, that like Docker Hub, Docker images.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So we are pushing our Docker images to their private, like we are setting up the Nexus, Sonatime Nexus, that is Nexus. We are pushing also in that. And also, I am not doing in the production deployment. I am also in the working on the pre-test, dev, and UAT environment. So in the production environment, our senior members are handling this, and we are deploying on this way, writing the codes.
Okay. So when you are packaging Java, when you are building that code, what is the build code like? What is the extension you are getting for that build code? Yes.
For Java, we are using like .jar, that Java archive, and some web application we also like get the .var, that is web archive. So that is where
then how you are converting that into image?
For that we are writing Docker file. Actual developers are writing that Docker files. I know I always gone through that files always. So in that we are like write the codes in that Docker file, and you are using a command like Docker build -t that for giving for tag and that Docker file location. So in that we are build that Docker image.
Okay.
So basically, Docker file having different.
So where you are deploying the Docker image?
So yes, so we are deploying in that Nexus repository. We have like a private repository for that.
After that, where you are deploying this, like where you are deploying?
So this containers, Docker images are Docker containers deployed using in Kubernetes. So that department actually is handling our seniors. So I am not working on that deployment part.
Okay.
So our senior members are doing that. So I am like pushing that code to the Nexus repository, like Docker containers.
Okay. So how you are integrating this Kubernetes with the Jenkins?
So in deployment, so they written on that some deployment parts. So I have to run that particular job for
Okay.
deployment.
So on Jenkins, like how much work you will be having? Like
So
what are the
Jenkins,
integrations you have done? Like have you integrated with Docker, Kubernetes, or have you
yeah.
integrated with Terraform, Ansible? Like
Yeah. I already I have means already they have basic running projects, so they have assigned all the things. But I know all the integration parts, like we have need to the plugins. So like for Maven, we have Maven integration plugins, and like Ansible library, Ansible plugins, and Sonar for Sonar key we have like Sonar scanner, and for the Nexus we have like Active Factor uploader and Sonar Day platform. So we are the different platforms, and in that all the after installing all the plugins, we have to give the credential and integrate that. So using like global tool configuration and system configurations, we are assigning all the URL of that particular tools and that particular credentials, like the username, and for the Jenkins, for this one, we are using like save the tokens. In that way, we can integrate that.
okay, so what is the recent issue that you worked on Jenkins?
Yes. So like Jenkins, we are like getting a like compliance error recent years. So like this is compliance error coming for that developer end. There are some code issues, code error issues. So in that I get that issues and expect to that developer particular team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the activities you will be doing other than Jenkins? What are the tools you are aware of? Like how much you will rate yourself in Ansible?
Yes, it's Ansible. I have good knowledge. So
Okay.
in, so I
can you
know
give me can you define what is a module and what is difference between a module and collection?
Okay. So module is a particular specific for that specific tags. So module is used for the run the particular tags or particular, you can say, particular activity using like modules. So in that modules we have like different modules, like your copy module, your template module, your EOM module, your service module, your debug module, and your in file line module. So having different modules, so different modules having around a specific activity, or you can say
Okay.
particular tags.
Okay. What is difference between module and a collection?
So collection is actually the collection of the module actually, I guess.
Okay. So what is Ansible.cfg file and what is the default location of that?
Okay. So Ansible is the default configuration file of that Ansible. So this file defines how Ansible behave. So this is like default location is /it is Ansible /ansible.cfg.
Okay, what are the contents we have in the Ansible.cfg?
Yeah, so it's like you have like default inverted file, and you have like your timeout values, you have like forks, so how many parallel jobs, like all the different all the settings that you have, like your timeouts, your default configuration file, default inverted file,
Okay.
and timeouts. Yeah.
If you want to run any playbook on particular machine,
Okay.
so how will you be running that?
So yeah, Ansible has a features of agentless configuration. So in that only that particular server need that Python version. So after that, you have to connect with using SSH. Using the SSH, you can run the run the playbook. So you have to run the command like Ansible hyphen playbook and give the particular playbook name, playbook file, that is YML file. After that, it will run.
Okay. So what is register in Ansible?
Yeah. So register is used to save the output of the value.
Okay.
So if you want to save the output of particular value, so you can use register command on that.
Okay. So whenever you are deploying this Docker images.
Okay.
So whenever you are compiling them, you have seen some vulnerabilities. Okay, so how will you check those vulnerabilities and what action you will take if you see any vulnerabilities on that image?
So in that Docker image.
Right.
So I have never faced on that Docker image.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
So how will you check the process in Linux?
So you have different commands, like your top command you can use, like, or uptime you can use, and also that is glances also a tool that you use to show the process of that application.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how will you check the route of the IP or route of any URL? How you check that?
So have to. I did not get a question.
Okay, no problem. How you will check the or how you give the local DNS? Where you will give the local DNS? Like I want to map with IP address and host name.
Okay. So that is yeah. So you have to slash etc and host under. You will have to define all the DNS IPs. So it's like slash, yeah, it's like those.
Okay. How you give permission to a file or folder?
Yeah. So for that we have used like a chmod command. So like you are giving, like, you can numerical or you can give the values, like for repo for that is full permission is that's 421.
Okay. How will you check whether a port is running or not in Linux?
Yes. So for that we have two commands, like PS and PSAUS command. Also you can say netstart NTLUP and give the particular using they're giving the particular port it's working on, it's showing that using the particular command like netstart and PS. And also use the SS command for that.
Okay. So how will you check firewalls in the Linux?
So parallel, like we are like command system parallel like CMD, yes. Okay.
So what is SC Linux? Do you know what is SC Linux in Linux?
I know little bit, but don't have that knowledge in that.
Okay.
Like it's, yeah.
Okay. So how much you have been exposed into Kubernetes?
So I am not exposed to that much. I have not learned. I am trying to learning nowadays. So they are assigning to the production part. So I am learning also that. So I know little bit of that Kubernetes. I don't have knowledge of that.
So what is the difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment?
Yes. So yeah, for continuous deployment
Delivery and deployment.
Yeah. Yes. So continuous delivery is up to your port checkout, build, and code quality scan, and then upload to the Nexus repository. Means you have to upload to the particular artifact to the repository. So that is called continuous delivery. And deployment also to that particular server. If you want to control, that is from starting from the checkout to build your code quality analysis, and then upload to that particular server. So that is called continuous deployment. Okay.
So what is the monitoring tool you are using?
So you are using Prometheus and Grafana. Prometheus for monitoring and for visualization monitoring for your Grafana.
Okay. So what are the things you are monitoring with Prometheus?
So for Prometheus, like we are checking the all. So as the Prometheus works, it's like using exporter for that. So it will extract the metrics from the different applications, different nodes. So for that, we have to install and configure install the different exporters, like you are using node exporter for the Linux, and if you are to install something like you have to check the Jenkins starter, so you have to install the Jenkins exporter in that. So particular this extract the metrics, and it's saved to the TLS, that is time series database, and it is for visualization you are using Grafana. So you are using Grafana configure for that. And for alerting, you are using alert manager. So it will send notification that particular, we are configuring that particular to send the notification to that users when they are in the internal teams.
Okay. So can you explain me one of the KPIs for Jenkins? Any KPI?
Sorry?
Any KPI, like any alert that you configured on Jenkins, for Jenkins? On
Prometheus, we are setting up like we are setting like thresholds of then says like if the memory utilization is 70%, so we have to give the alerts. So in that we have a particular monitoring for team for that. So somehow we have little of working on that. First we have to configure that. Now after that after maintaining the other monitoring teams.
Okay, so how you will be notified from the Prometheus? How you will get the, or what is the incident tool you are using?
Yes. So Prometheus actually working on the pool-based mechanism. So it's like it will like pool the metrics. So like you have to install or particularly exporter. So like Prometheus have different exporters for different tools. So you have to install that particular exporters and configure in the Prometheus.cfc configuration file, and you have to give that particular default port of that exporter. In that, you have to run that after the starting of that. So in that target folder of that Jenkins, it will show the which kind of tools or applications are attached to that Prometheus. So it will be monitoring in that way. So in that you have like configuration of that architecture of the Prometheus. So it stores all the data in that time series database. Also, it's a it exporter in the export directory. It check the which application you want to paste the matrix, and it will yeah.
No. What is the incident tool you are using?
So incident like we are Jira using for that. Okay. So yeah.
So how is this Jira and Prometheus integrated?
So yeah, for that also same. We are using Jira exporter. Okay. So you want to add after installing that Jira exporter in that configuration. So after you have to change that use the particular default port of that Jira exporter and changes certain and made configuration in that Prometheus.cfd file. After restarting it will automatically fetch the metrics from that Jira.
Whenever you are doing any changes, what is the process you are following?
So yeah, if you any changes in that configuration file, so you have to restart that system. After that, it will be work.
Now, if it is in production, like if you are restarting, what is the process you will be following?
So for that, we are like don't have access in that production issues, but I know that we have to, in particular, we have to zero downtime in that section. So we have particular time for that. So doing some
even if it is not in production, like what are the like even if you are doing any changes on the development,
yeah. So
what is the process you follow?
So yeah, any changes we need to have some PR request for that, and we have to changes and get permission from the managers. After that, we are doing any changes. After any changes, we have to restart that system.
Okay. So do you have any knowledge on automation, test automations like Selenium, Test NG, XUnit?
No, we are not working with that.
Okay. So are you following any agile process in your project?
Yes. So yeah.
Can you explain like what happening in your project?
Yes. So in that agile process, we have like sprint of 15 days. So all these our Scrum Master actually they define all the tags and define the tickets. So in that we have like week based work. So in that we are having always having the end of the day we have the discussion about the works what I've done and we have to done what is the next plan to do. So in that we have all the meetings, constant meetings and all every day means every evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the latest Scrum or what is the latest user story you worked or sprint you worked on?
So in that
with respect to Jenkins or DevOps.
Okay. So in that this particular Harmony project, so we have discussion about that notifications. So we are planning to send more frequently in that notification regarding their offers in that particular master tab. in the credit card. So I'm planning on discussing on that.
Okay. So how it is designed, like?
So yes, it's like design like it's a Java-based application. So we can say I can explain. Like it's having 17 20, I guess. I don't have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So how much exposure you have to databases, NoSQL database?
No, I have a little bit of access on that. Sometimes we are writing scripts to save the outputs of that particular Jenkins jobs to that particular. We are using like MySQL. That is. So in that we are storing the data in that MySQL, and then we are uploading to the that S3 service, Amazon S3 service. So I have little bit of that on that.
Okay. Can you explain about RDS?
So I have little bit of knowledge on that. So in that we are using Postgres on that. So that is relational database. So in that we are set up lastly that we have like 2 edges we are setting in that particular server. So if you are letting any if you any update in the database, so like we have like one is master node and another is standby. Sorry, one is main and is standby. If you need any configuration changes, so in that we are made in that standby mode. After changes in the standby mode, I will make it into the main working main branch, and you have to change in that. Another is make it to the standby, and in the standby we are make the changes. In that we are having a little bit in that.
Why you are using RDS? Like where you are using this?
So like relational database means it's configure all the things means data are related to each other. So in that tables we can access the frequently data. So it will store.
Yeah, but why you are using and like how you are launching this through DevOps pipelines?
So in that I have there's little bit access in that. I have don't have knowledge in that.
Okay. But you mentioned like you have experience on this. Right?
Yeah, so I am working on little about that. So we are frequently not assign the ticket slot. So in DevOps we have lots of tools. So not always we are having the all the tools. So.
Okay. So how much experience you have in Groovy script?
So yeah, yes. So I have good knowledge in that. So we are writing like pipelines in that Groovy script. Yeah, like declarative and some declarative pipelines.
Okay. Can you explain like few functions?
Yes. Yes. For that, in declarative, we are like using like different stages. So we are using pipeline for the declarative, and you are using like stages. On the stages, we are having a stage. On the stage, having like commands, different commands, different steps you want to do. So like we are define all the things like different stages in that, and we also define the variables in that using df. Using that we are writing scripts.
How will you print values in Groovy?
Print that you are using debug actually.
If you want to print
knowledge
any
in that.
value, like what is that you will use to print?
So in that group, we were actually writing the scripts actually. We are not much using that much of the school scripts. So we are using generally for the writing the scripts.
Okay. So what is the use of AWK in shell scripting?
So AWS is a powerful command to extract a particular pattern. You can say using AWS command, you can extract a particular var or particular number. So it will be separate using delimiter. So it use a delimiter to separate the different parts.
Okay. So if I want to replace something, okay, so within the file.
Okay.
Okay. So how will you do that using bash scripting?
Okay. So for replacing, we can like using the find command also we can use. If you are using find command, Like if you want to change that particular file, so we can also use that using function of that find function.
Okay. So what is the difference between hard link and soft link?
Yes. So yeah, hard link is for the original file having in handling it having don't have the different inode number. In soft link it's having the different inode number. If the original file is deleted, the soft link will be not working. If in whereas in handling, if the original file is deleted, it will be work on that. It can be work. So basically, soft link having different inode rather than original file, and whereas in the handling it having the same inode.
Okay. So in AWS, what are the things you require to create a VPN?
VPC.
Sorry.
Yeah. So for VPC, we have need the CID range. So you have to define the CID range and the IP address where how you want to make. Then we have need the subnets. Then you have need the internet gateway for the internet connectivity. So in that we need like your routing table. So in that you have to define the which traffic inbound outbound rule. So all the things like your CID range, your subnets, your internet gateway, your route tables, all the things need to run a VPC.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you don't have any exposure with Kubernetes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is it from my end. Okay.
Okay.
So our team will get back to you on the feedback. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for all your time.
Thank you.